So Lightning Storm, and give this card a quick read as well here.
So I'm guessing this was meta. Evenly matched. Crap. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down, so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand.
So, by giving your opponent a monster, cards that were typically sideboarded, sometimes even main decks during this period, such as Lightning Storm Evenly Matched, that require you to not have any cards on the field, or no face-up cards on the field in the instance of Lightning Storm, Wabi actually shuts down these cards because, think about it, you have the Mystic Mine up, you have the Cauldron up, you have some Solemn Judgment or Dark Bribe set, which I guess if you have those, you could just negate Evenly Matched or Lightning Storm anyway. You basically have a bunch of things on the field that are trying to, make sure that your game plan is executed, right? But now all of a sudden, you give them this card that shuts down their options to be able to, come back into the game. It's so funny how this, piece of the puzzle fits in with everything. It's hilarious, to be honest.
Yes. Beautiful technology.
And speaking of more ways,
most depressing yyyy manga that became an instant hit.
Continuous spell.
Man, I fucking hate YouTube titles like that. I know exactly what it's talking about, but if you don't, then you don't know, and that's how they get you. In other words, I hate clickbait with a passion.
Putting up the layers, man.
Yep.
Just keep locking it down.
And speaking of locking it down, here's your next one.
I make it a habit to never click anything that is
this is part of a
pretty much 90% clickbait.
Continuous. Activate by declaring one card name. Card of that name.
Clickbait is a spectrum. At some point, it's too much clickbait. There's no avoiding clickbait, but as long as you at least put in the title what you're trying to talk about, then you're allowed to clickbait as much as you want. Like, instead of saying, most impressive game, you should at least say, Elden Ring, or Tears to the Kingdom, or Baldur's Gate, or
guess based off the way that the format was of what that
Squadron 77, 33 or whatever it's called is the best game.
Call it, and guess what? They're never going to be able to activate it.
No, everyone's playing something.
Safe.
Yeah. That's the Stream Sniper special, if you
literally.
Hatsuki Purin is a developer, right? It only makes sense. He's always the one playing all the new decks.
Skull's Oracle.
Or she? I don't know. They. I'll go with they.
Trying to remember the definition of a sentence.
Is this mono red?
No. Look at the top 3
yeah, red white. Like I said, that's the best way to play this.
Their deck in any order, but you cannot normal or special summon monsters.
Yep, I don't see anything wrong here. This is how I would. This is how I would fucking. Play this. I don't want to play against myself. That's boring. I still haven't figured out how I can make a Diva deck style for Akino. Whatever. I'm just gonna play Tears. I should upload my videos. I can do that later while I'm having lunch, I guess. Holy shit! Already so many. Motherfucker. Anyway, The Summer You Were There, I believe, is the manga that YouTube video is gonna talk about. I read it. I saw all the accolades it had, and I was like, I was thirsty for some yuri, as I usually am. So I gave it a read, and my god, it was... I don't see why it's so popular. They say it's a tragedy, but there is no tragedy. There is no tragedy. There is the idea, the concept of a tragedy, but there is no real tragedy. Think of a classic tragedy. Romeo and Juliet is the one that comes to mind. It's not a romance story. It's a tragedy. People keep getting that confused. Shakespeare. Wait, who fucking wrote Romeo and Juliet? Whatever, I'll just say Beethoven. Yeah, the musician wrote it. Anyway, what makes a tragedy is unresolved plot points. Like that is the primary force. That is what makes for impactful tragedies. When someone or something is unable to finish something before they die, or some other uh, thing prevents them from ever doing what they want to do. Someone moves away, someone dies, or Tears of the Kingdom, fucking Zelda turns herself into a dragon in order to save people, in order to defeat Ganondorf. Like those are tragedies. Something was lost. Something was left unresolved. Zelda was never able to make it to her time. She was never able to help anyone in the past. And now the only way she can help people in the present is by losing herself. That is a tragedy. Romeo and Juliet. Juliet fucking kills herself or something. They never get to be together. And then and then Romeo decides to follow suit. Only the twist, a tragic twist. Juliet never actually died, but after finding what happened, now she does decide she's going to fucking die. And then blam. The summer you were there, this isn't a fucking spoiler. The love interest fucking dies. That is something the fucking manga talks about. Frame 1. Literal first panel. So it's not a spoiler when I say that. And there's no tragedy to it because there's nothing left unresolved by the end. Everyone was able to do and say everything that they wanted. So there's no underlying tragedy other than the fact that someone died. Like fucking in JoJo, the death count is so fucking high, but like you don't consider those tragedies. Some of those are literally just fucking, what's the word for it? They aren't tragedies. They're more or less mishaps or sacrifices, or what's the word for it? You know, mistakes, side characters getting killed off is not a tragedy. Or you know, the term people use all the time to talk about the civilians that got hurt along the way in a war or when a tsunami hits. Okay, yeah, tragedy is the word used for those typically, but like, me and fucking language just love each other very much. Let's launch ourselves. I actually have no idea where I want to go. I know I'm dealing with pirates, but I need to see if there are any other places I can see from here. Doesn't look like it. Lame. Let's just go then. We've got some pirates to deal with. Obviously, it was well written. I'll concede to that. But this is not something I'm hating just because it's popular. I love plenty of popular things. I'm not one of those people that hate things just because it's popular frame 1. I read it because I knew it was popular, so I was like, then damn, this is gonna be a good story. I'm gonna enjoy it. And so when I didn't enjoy it, that's why you can understand why I'm fucking complaining so much. Like I said, the writing and art is all very good. The framing and paneling, chef's kiss, moi, character design, yada yada yada. All very fun. Oh lord, he coming. This is always very cursed whenever this happens. I know I heard something behind me. Koryu says I have a bad mic, ear thingy, stereo sound. But clearly that's not the case with Breath of the Wild. As Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom shows, I can hear just fine. My computer's audio is just fine. I swear to God, it's literally Overwatch's fault. Or Overwatch wasn't the game we played. What was it called again? I fucking don't remember. Yeah, it's this modern game's tendency to make games so fucking quiet. Like, dude, you're not a fucking porno. Be loud. I know Nintendo really hates their music options. Mario Kart World has normal and loud as its BGM options. But like, I can hear and understand everything that goes in this game. Like the Koroks where you gotta fucking do the flout, where you gotta go walk towards the pedals and like there's an audio cue and it is stereo so you can tell where it is coming from. And like with the choo choo, I heard two of them. I saw the one in front, but I also heard one from behind and the game fucking crashed. Man, I had a good 6 hours of sleep and I am a yapaholic right now, apparently. Anyway, I don't want to see that in my recommended. I'm not gonna watch it for the purpose of hate watching and leaving a comment. The video is supposed to be about praising. I'm not one to ruin people's fun. So I'm gonna leave my complaints in this video, where I can talk about whatever I want and set whatever mood I want. Allow people to have their own opinions. You can agree with that sentiment, right? I'm allowed to hate something popular. I don't know if I've already talked about this. I kind of feel like I have. Like that's the problem with massively popular things. Massively popular things are popular because a lot of people like the things that are being shown. But that's the thing. It just so it's the majority. Majority doesn't mean everyone. Some people are gonna hate something just because it's not for them. Like example, I suppose. I mean, yeah, I talked about the Yuri manga. But initially, I didn't like FNAF because I wasn't a fan of horror. I was a fucking wussy baby. Back in the day. Nowadays, I barely bat an eye at whatever fucking gore comes my way. In fact, it's my fucking fetish. The Master Sword isn't dead, so I guess the frogs was the reason for the green trash. A little sad. I'm not allowed to get none my zonites. But that's how it be sometimes. I remember when I got here, I just saw all the monsters. I didn't even see the shrine. I was just fucking murdering, and before I knew it, I was like, "Oh, I saved people? Cool." I didn't realize I was in Lurelin. So be kind to minorities who don't like the same things most people like, especially if you do. I understand that you might not have the empathy to realize not everyone is allowed to like the same things that you do and everyone else does. But try to gain that empathy. Worthless human scum. Banana. smash this cock. Thought there were 2 people there. How much Zonite do we have left? We're pretty good. Broke already. Morning now. This guy's messed up with my timing. Yeah, that's right, I fooled you, idiot. Stupid low-life pirates. You invaded from the sea. I shall invade from the land. Or from the sky. Wow, the fans don't give me as much control as I thought I would. Good enough, though. Never mind.
Hmm? Oi! Huh? Nga? Mahal? Oh! Oh! Oh. Oh. Oh.
Fantastic. A chance at a do-over. All the stuff's gone. So lame. Yeah, I'm keeping myself cool because of my ice sword. Wacky. There's supposed to be a group of Bokos here. People love bullying those guys for clips. Oh my god. Ow! We'll have two fairies. Seriously, none of these have attack up. Is it this thing? I'm pretty sure this is just a Karok. Wait, what? Ah, sure, it's gonna fucking die frozen. I won't get what I want that way. Yes. There we go.
All right, Zelda. We are alone as you requested. What was it you wanted to discuss with me in private?
You are far too trusting.
Oh my. I'm surprised to hear you say such a thing. That is quite out of character for the Zelda I know. But then you are a puppet of Ganondorf.
Did you really think we hadn't realized your deceit?
reflexes. Very nice, Zelda. I couldn't do that sometimes. It was a double disease.
Your Majesty! Queen Sonia! Oh no! Queen Sonia!
That smile was a meme for all of 1 week. Ever means, right, that's their name. I always just call them Treants, since that's what they're usually named. What up? I require your services once more. Hmm. Bunch of shields need some de-rusting. 69. Nice. Play more. Oh, this stinks. Eh. saves on shrines anyway, so I think didn't lose out too much.
Except fairy monsters. You can only activate one of these once per turn. So this is, it's also a spell. So this is a spell that you can activate once a turn to just stack their deck. So and now you know what they're going to draw.
Exactly. So not only do you know what they're going to draw, if they have a card that is something that could stop your Mystic Mine, you can put it as third card from the top. But if you also have the Prohibition, like you said, now you know what their out is to your Mystic Mine, if they even have an out at all, that if they do draw it, you just activate Prohibition, and now all of a sudden, they can't activate it anyway, so they basically have no way to win the game at all. Isn't that fun?
Yes. And it reminds me, the Magic players are going to remember this because of a deck that I'll probably show you someday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Are you joking me?
Are you writing down notes for a future video?
I'm always writing down notes for it. No, I've never written down a note for a future video in my life.
Never.
I probably should.
You've never done that.
Actually, as a professional YouTuber, that would be a good change I could make in 2026. A good resolution to take freaking notes. But I probably won't.
So far, what do you think? That's the first iteration of the deck. Essentially, just trying to protect the Mystic Mind at all costs, and then also just make it that the opponent's never going to have a way to out the Mystic Mind whatsoever.
Is the defining characteristic of this version the Wabi? That kind of approach?
Not necessarily. It's more so just the fact that it has layers upon layers of way to prevent the mind from being interacted with.
Oh, naming cards and further locking opponents out.
Correct. Well, it's part of it, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, it's more so just how many layers the opponent has to get through. Because sometimes with this version of the deck, one out isn't enough. And then, if they lock all your options out, then you can't win the game, just straight up.
It does dedicate a decent amount of spots to, a fail state. I'm sure that there's... I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm guessing in Yu-Gi-Oh! History there are cards that, blow up the whole back row.
The Lightning Storm and Evenly Matched, those are two.
Yeah. And, they kind of have a counter answer to that, but you don't... While you can always get the mine, maybe you can't always get the right answer, right? Declaring the wrong card, and it just doesn't come up, or it got sideboarded up, or any of those, kind of mind games that get you with cards like these. And the Goddess on her own is just chilling. It's not card advantage. I can see the downsides. I can also, it does seem exactly like the kind of deck designed to make people angry. Beautiful. Yeah. So, it does seem very all-in, though, on that plan. So, I'm curious to see what the other version does.
Yeah, you have to think about it contextually.
They're all in. That's how you design a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck.
This deck wasn't a meta deck. This was considered a rogue contender for sure, and would catch people off guard. The thing is, decks would not run main deck spell and trap removal that was not in the form of a spell or trap. A monster effect might be able to destroy the spell or trap, but if Mystic Mind is up, those are all useless, right? Yeah. Because all the other good decks, quote-unquote, didn't care about having to destroy spells and traps. And so that was just, again, another opportunity for a deck like this to thrive. Because if Mystic Mind's shutting off all the monster effects, and they don't have a way to destroy your spells and traps in the form of a spell or trap, look at Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched, but even so, those cards were typically relegated to the side deck, then that was where this deck had the opportunity to really thrive and just absolutely just body people if you ran into it in a tournament.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Alright, so that's the first iteration. So now let's go and show you the second iteration. Maybe this guy's laughing. Maybe this card will look familiar, that's why.
Ajama Trio. Oh god, this nightmare fuel. Trap, special summon these 3 tokens, to your opponent's side in defense position that cannot be tributed or tribute summoned, and each time one is destroyed, its controller takes 300 damage. Yep, I remember this. So it takes up spots on their board, and obviously makes sure that the mine works. Yep.
Put it together. And guess what? If that wasn't enough Ojamas, there's more Ojama!
Oh, good! The duo!
God, who the fuck came up with Ojama Duo? Why?
Cannot be tributed from summon each time one is destroyed 300
Why are there just some Konami developers who hate people?
The graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon 2 Ojama monsters with different names from your deck. So I'm guessing that's a duo and a trio.
Yeah, basically that last part's irrelevant because you're not actually playing Ojama monsters. You're basically just playing 6 copies of summoned guys to your opponent's team, essentially. But you might be wondering to yourself, okay, what else are we doing, right? Obviously Wabi could do this. It's not like this is the only card that can do this, right? Well, go ahead and get this card.
Rivalry of Warlords is a trap card, another continuous trap. Each player can only control one type of monster, send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. One type of monster?
Type. So, in our case, this would be, if you look at, let's say, Silent Wabi. Wabi's a fish. So this would be the equivalent of your game of, elves or dragons, or that sort of classification.
Who chooses?
The player chooses. So if you control 2 different types when Rivalry is active, the player who owns them gets to choose.
So these Ojama tokens are light beasts?
They are beasts, yes.
Beasts is what we're looking at?
Correct.
Is beast a popular type. Oh wait, hold on. Tokens cannot
I am on
contribute
fire.
or tribute summoned each time one is destroyed 300 damage. It doesn't. It feels to me like
Or
they're
rather,
just gonna
my
kill off
weapon is on
the
fire.
Ojamas. Unless I misunderstand this.
Well, if the Ojamas are already on their field, and you activate Rivalry of Warlords, they're stuck in only being able to summon beast-type monsters. They don't get a choice.
They don't get
Oh,
to
really?
choose.
I
They can't
missed.
choose a different type
Fuck
and just
me.
send them to the yard?
No, it's whatever's already on the field. So if they have like the Ojama tokens and other types of monsters,
That's
then they can
lame.
choose to send the Ojama tokens. But if the Ojama tokens are the only thing out and you flip Rivalry, they're locked into beasts. They can't do anything else.
That doesn't seem clear from the way the card reads, but okay.
Whatever.
Sure. That
Still get
sounds
the
fun.
spike, which is the only thing I'm really
I'm
missing.
guessing beast is
I mean, yeah, the scales are nice,
You
but
know,
those are the most worthless.
More so, especially during this time.
Oh god. Okay. So another way to lock them out if you're not using the mine. Interesting.
Think about this card.
I like mine better.
Well, remember, you're still playing mine.
Is it better to run mine plus ways to protect mine, or is it better to run another makeshift mine on top of a mine?
That's a good question, and that's why
I don't know. Yeah, that's I mean, this is a combo, but I don't find it nearly as oppressive. They have to find a way to get rid of these before they can summon other things, or they can get rid of the trap. That's 2 points of failure. I don't think it's nearly as good as the mine. And that it's like 2 cards that doing something like a mine. So this is fine, I think.
Okay, and if Rivalry wasn't enough, here is another one.
Goes in match is a trap. Continuous. Each player can only control one attribute of monster. Light, dark. Is that what they mean?
There you go.
Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. Okay, so then this locks them on light only. It is kind of wild how that works. But yeah, this one, I guess with the templating makes more sense to me. Send all other face-up monsters they control the graveyard. Cool. Kills her stuff. I mean, again, this is like it's a fun synergy, and obviously, I mean, fun for me.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't understand why we have cards like the trio if we're not gonna also have cards like Goes in Match and Rivalry, because this is the kind of like playing with a different resource in your game effect, and it is kind of a combo. It's definitely a schoolyard, like, ooh, oh, I do this with that, oh, now I've got them. Like, people like that.
Oh, I don't remember this.
I still don't see putting these 2 cards together as being nearly as impressive as the one, so I'm still fine with this.
Okay, so you think all these cards are fine, Christian? No problems.
The trio, the duo, the rivalry match. I think it's I don't see why you have to like ban or limit this stuff. Let the nonsense begin. That's what I say.
Okay. It might come as a shock to you that both Rivalry of Warlords and Goes in Match are actually limited to a singular copy.
Is it really because of this?
No, it's not because of this. This obviously is something. This is something that obviously, it's beneficial for the strategy. Don't get me wrong, but no, similar to what I was describing to you with Solemn Judgment earlier. This is another type of effect where. In the sideboards, games 2 and 3, if you're playing a mono-type or mono-attribute type deck and your opponent is not, let's say you're going into games 2 or 3, you board in copies of Rivalry or Gozen, and you do your opening play, whatever, you set your Rivalry or Gozen in the back row, your opponent attempts to start playing the game, you flip up Rivalry or you flip up Gozen, all of a sudden they can't play the game's basically over, so you just move on to the next one or the match is concluded. And so, not a very fun play pattern, and so these cards, as well as many of the other floodgates that are similar in their effects, which, even them being limited, I think a YCS recently was won by one of these types of effects. They're all restricted to a singular copy. What do you think about that?
I still don't see the problem. Shouldn't there be a reward for limiting yourself to a specific type of monster? Like these kind of things happen in Magic all the time, where you get a reward for playing all the vampires, or all the smalls, or all the bigs, or all the whatever it be. And it's like the idea that they don't get to play the game just tells me that they didn't sideboard well. Like that's all. You have to be more flexible after sideboarding. You can't just, especially a combo deck. Like, this is combo 101 in Magic. It's like, after sideboard, you have to both have answers to different kinds of things that the opponent will use against you. You should probably have a variety of win conditions, right? So that you don't just rely on doing the thing every time. But apparently in Yu-Gi-Oh, this is straight sacrilege and must be curtailed in the format. We simply can't have somebody not able to do their combo. What do you think? A game with so many rewards and so high drop rates, I've never seen.
Fuck me, man. I swear YouTube intentionally fucking neuters your controls whenever an ad plays.
We simply can't have somebody not able to do their combo. Oh my god.
So here's the last card from this second strategy here. Not really part of like the other Ojama stuff or the rivalry stuff that I've shown you, but give us a read.
Dark Ruler No More is a spell. Have I seen this?
I think I've shown you. You've seen some of these cards before. I think I've shown you this one.
Alright. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of turn. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Sweet. Sweet card, you're gonna tell me it's limited or banned, aren't you?
Okay. I mean, that's where you decide.
Obviously, it's just good fun, shut you down, make the game last a little longer, but you can't handle such things. I feel like it got limited. Okay, but I'm not positive. I know I saw it before, but I like it.
Do you see the purpose of it in the Mystic Mind strategy?
I mean, the opponent taking no damage is in the downside. Neither player activating monster effects isn't a problem if you don't play them. Is there something special that I'm missing? Let's see. And we're talking specifically with, like, the Ojamas and such?
No, just Mystic Mind specifically.
I'm missing something? It just seems like a good control card.
So, the purpose of Dark Ruler is, and one of the issues of playing a deck like Mystic Mind is going second, right? Because if your opponent's able to set up their board first, when you attempt to activate Mystic Mind, and this is similar to Magic the Gathering, the card is sort of like in the, like, it's in like the weird quarantine zone where it's like not actually active yet because your opponent has the chance to like respond and negate it, right? So if you go activate Mystic Mind as Chainlink 1, or the first card on the stat, and your opponent has a way to interact with, negate, or destroy the Mystic Mind before it actually hits the field, the monster effects are still fair game until that Mystic Mind resolves, is active, and now everything is being shut down by the mind. Going second, that's where this card, or this deck, can struggle a little bit, because it has to sort of get through whatever the opponent put out before sticking the Mystic Mind, and if the Mystic Mind sticks, you most likely win the game. Dark Ruler is an answer to be able to actually do that, because your opponent sets up a bunch of monsters with different effects to either negate or destroy a Mystic Mind. You go, okay, Dark Ruler, everything's negated, activate the Mystic Mind, it now resolves because your opponent can't interact with it. You can just end the turn, the Mystic Mind's active, all your opponent's stuff is negated, and you either just mill them out or burn them over the course of several turns.
Cool. Yeah, alright, so it's the pre-counter, it's the silence before you play your mind.
Right,
sure.
It's the way to force the mind through, essentially, because that's like
Where's
the difficult part in the second.
lady?
And so that's it. That's the two variants of the deck. There's probably like a couple other like different versions, but for the most part, these are the extreme of the variants. So I don't know which way you're leaning, but what do you think between the two?
So one version runs Goddess Skulls or that's like differentiated. Runs Ojamas, Rivalry, Ghost Match, Dark Ruler. The Dark Ruler card a lot.
I bet you do. A lot of people.
Yeah, I like that card a lot.
You also thought Dark Ruler got limited. Dark Ruler's fine. It's been in 3 copies forever.
Good.
So, yeah,
beautiful.
Very healthy card, actually. Very healthy card.
They're too ugly. I hate these freaking duos, these trios. We might have found what I'm actually unable to play. If I'm seriously choosing between, like, the Ojamas and Goddess Skull's Oracle, come on. What can I
didn't put her in the waifu video. I didn't put her in the waifu video for you.
It's absolutely an endurance test of how many rounds in a row you can look at these ugly little bastards.
Is that what it is? That's the
I
differentiator?
think it is.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that, man, what kind of a heartless, soulless creature could make it all the way through however many rounds playing these Ojama trios every single round and keeping their sanity? It seems
Okay.
wild. And I know which deck I like, which is the Field Barrier Prohibition version. And in Magic, that is what I would go with. So both decks have the pots, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that the Ojamas are the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, and I couldn't do it. But you know what else I can't really do anymore? Win a tournament with a stall-out control deck. I can't make it, dude. 8 rounds, 9 rounds, 10 rounds. That's so long. I can't play Magic the way I used to. I can't play card games the way I used to. I can't make it. So if somebody shows up with these, they have to, like I said, be an absolutely heartless, soulless machine. They have to be a true Terminator. And that's the type of monster you need to win one of these events. It's not just that you're playing a toxic strategy, it's psychological damage at every turn.
Okay.
And I don't know if Rivalry or Goes In Match were limited at the time, but there's like an extra kick to the balls of also dropping this on them when it's also just as hated.
Okay.
Man, also this Dark Ruler No More card is insane, I think. So, I like the Field Barrier Prohibition deck more, but I can see more potential holes in it. And on the just flavor side of like which is most likely to tilt people into oblivion and have them play horribly against you because they're so angry. Maybe I'm overrating that, but for the fun of it, I'll say that the Ojama trio, the Ojama squad, is the group that actually made it to the top 8 finals.
Missed well. These two weapons are kind of like my staples. They're not too strong, but not too weak either. That anytime the Master Sword's gone and I don't feel like going all out, I just use these.
Oh. Ah.
I got you, babe. It won't fit, babe. There you go.
Huh? Ma! Ah. Wow.
is the group that actually made it to the top 8 finals and won the thing.
Well, let's go ahead and take you to YCS Rio de Janeiro in 2022, where, this is going to blow your mind, the deck with the most representation in the top cut was Tearless.
Whoa! The hero we needed! Talk about an oops all villains arc.
An oops all villains arc.
Mystic Mind Bird, out of the top 32, there was one player piloting this atrocity.
Oh, hold up. These stages version got played. Now that I know that Tier Limits was...
Oh, you want to change your mind? Do you want to change your mind? Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, I'll let you change your mind.
You have to admit, it makes Prohibition a lot better when everyone's on the same deck.
Sure, I will say Tierlet had 12 of the top 32 decks in Top Cut.
Oh, do I change my mind?
I'll let you know top 8, 3 of the top 8.
God, I want to change my mind, but no, I'll stick with it. It does make Prohibition a lot better. Sure. It's fine. I'm holding on, so, because it doubles down to my theory that a true psychopath had to do this. And the Tier Limit, a true psychopath had to do this. They had to do it.
Oh my god, I can't. So, YTS Rio de Janeiro 2022. When Tearlimit was considered one of the best decks of the format, one hero came along and took the entire event with Mystic Mind Bird. And it was, in fact, the one with the Ojamas. You got it correct, CJ. You got it correct.
All vibes, baby. 100%
all vibes.
Turned off my rational brain. Turned off my art aesthetic. Turned off everything. Just go full psychopath. That's how you find one with a deck like this. Because it's not about X's and O's. It's about endurance. Mental endurance.
It's so funny because as good of a deck as Tearlit is, I mean, we consider Tearlit to be the best deck in video history, and probably will be till the end of time. Like, I don't know how we're going to talk about this. One of the biggest weaknesses of the deck is that it does not play spell and trap in the form of a spell and trap. Funny enough, it has an in-archetype spell that does deal with spells and traps, but they don't play it because every other deck in the format doesn't really care about that. So, most of their spell and trap are relegated to the side deck. And
I thought you guys weren't supposed to do that.
Which is so funny, is that anytime you're going into a tournament, the thing you did not want to encounter was sitting across from someone playing Mystic Mind Bird, because statistically, it was not going to go in your favor. You were going up against that deck, and that's the story of it. It ended up going the distance. It's not to say that Mystic Mind didn't do well in other events. It topped plenty of other events during its history throughout the game. I think the interesting development with Mystic Mind, and this actually sort of goes back to that little article that I showed you where it said two players were just passing back and forth to one another, is that the stronger minded players in the game with Mystic Mind realized, this card's really fucking good. Why don't we just play this card anyway? And if our opponent doesn't have an end to it, we just win the game for free, right? Who cares about the burn stuff? Who cares about all this other stuff? We're going to play a, quote, good deck, like Tier Element or whatever, at any given point. And, we're going second, we're trying to do our combo, our opponent stops all of our stuff. That's cute. Anyway, activate Mystic Mind. If they don't have it out, that person just automatically wins the game. That is the effect that this card had on Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time, and it sucked. It really sucked. The amount of games that were determined by whether or not a Mystic Mind was activated is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And so that is the history of this card. That is the history of this card. I thought it'd be fun, because we always talk about how it's such the boogeyman. To give you some more history on how fun this card was. In quotes.
It's beautiful, to be honest.
I bet. I thought you'd enjoy it.
This
if
is
anything,
a Christmas gift to me.
It is. If anything, this is incentivizing you to want to play Mystic Mind Rubber legally.
Yeah, you said it's banned, so, like, I guess I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I guess not. Unfortunate.
Very much. Ah, God, I love the Dark Ruler no more. I love all decks like this that just hit them. I just like punching them from another angle, man. You know, when you think you know the game is about one thing and it turns out to be about another. That's what hits for me.
That's card games, right? That's what we love about card games in general. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all their continued support. So shouts to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Dolce, Moto, Cameron Hill Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Daniel Howell, Bill Bailey, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Brian Dancer, Class 7, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, MBT Cancel My Community Soon, Cancel My Community Soon, Cancel My Play Soon, MBT and Nicknames 1, Boxer Breeze Field Night of Passion, The Nova129, Chris Adams, Pink Frappe, and Blazing Soul. Thank you all so much again for watching, and we will see you next time.
Alright, finish that little detour.
New Hero Deck PogChamp, new Hero Deck PogChamp. So, Rush Duel has Neos cards now legal. These are Elemental Hero Neos. We've got Neospatian Flare Scarab, we've got Neospatian Aqua Dolphin, and we've got their associated fusions, Pulse Neos and Heat Neos, who I cheaped out on because I didn't want to keep rolling them out of the Super Rare. These cards are enabled by Neos Contact Draw, which just plays the game for you, unsurprisingly. And I think it's really funny that they invented a whole new series of Neospatian monsters just so that they don't have to print Air Neos. I mean, they're a little different, I guess. I don't know, let's make it happen. Alright, we're playing a silver player. Wait, this card's crazy. Secret Order! Okay, I'll begin by normal summoning Fake Neos. Activate his effect to mill 2. We did hit an Aqua Dolphin. We'll go Secret Order to special summon a Neos. And then I'm going to actually normal summon a Neos as well. Finally, we'll activate Hero Descent, the special 2 monsters whose levels equal 7, whose total levels equal 7 or lower. Damn, I really don't want to do this. Maybe we should do this. Fuck it. Kill me. Wait, this deck is dog shit ass? Yeah, it doesn't really do anything going first, does it? We missed a hand rip? You're right. Fuck. We did. Wait, but hand rips are terrible in this game because they just get to draw. Oh no! We're gonna get the Galactica Fusion. So... Oh my god, they sent it out Oblivion as well. Why does their secret order look different than mine?
From my hand, I activate my spell card. Fly it! Galactica Oblivion!
Please don't hurt me. Dude, I'm not a big fan of that feed close-up. Did you see? They really were like, check out his footers. There he is, Eternal Galactica Oblivion. We are going to die, we're dead. Mill 3. How big is he gonna get? That's not so bad. We live. Wait, this card doesn't do anything.
I already did this.
Alright.
Huh. I'm kinda dumb.
Comeback time. Don't call it a comeback. Oh wow, these are all really good, actually. So we can activate our skill here. Let's see if we can go a little farther. Elemental Circulation. We will reveal Elemental Hero Thunder Giant, send this Sparkman to the graveyard, and draw 3. That's a great one.
Man, skydiving is such a cool mechanic, though, honestly.
I'll show them Pulse Neos here. Discard the Neos.
Every open world game should have this.
I guess Curse of the Rising Light. We're gonna go Hero Descent. Bring back Aqua Dolphin. You know, let's bring out Sparkman too. Fuck it. Out comes my boy, Pulse Neos.
Fusion summon!
Pulse Neos effect.
My monsters.
Pop this motherfucker. Avian spell tactics. Pop this motherfucker. I'll put, Neos on top of it.
We managed to restrain him somehow.
Oh, this is the last cutscene in order.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him. Master Sword. How is the Master Sword? You're telling me that Link is safe? You traveled through time to find me and recover your strength.
Zelda, I believe there is a reason you were sent to us. It has to mean something.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do. We will finally stop him.
To become an immortal dragon is to lose oneself.
I'll be forever changed. Link! You must find me.
For real though. You know, the cutscenes and the whole viewing them in order thing does highlight a personal flaw I think should be mentioned that nobody else ever does mention. Breath of the Wild Breath of the Wild's entire shtick was how open and freeing it is. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, in whatever order you want. A big gripe I have with Tears of the Kingdom is that that aspect is not as highlighted. They doubled down on a lot of things in Breath of the Wild with Tears of the Kingdom. One of the things they didn't double down on is the story for some reason. Like, this is most highlighted in the Great Sky Island. If you try to do these out of order, you're in for a really rough time. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, I've pretty much done all of the initial shrines in any order that I like, and it was fun no matter what. Obviously, you're guided to do Magnesis first, uh, but afterwards I went Cryonis second, then I went Stasis, then I went the Bomb Rune was the last rune I got. On my second ever playthrough, I decided I'd do the Bomb Rune first, uh, then Stasis, then Magnesis, and Cryonis since it was the least useful. And it was fun when I did that. Seeing that the old man would react no matter which shrine you went to was an awesome experience on the replay through. And then, of course, I visited the Zora place first. And the Zora place was what I tried to visit first as well. I wanted to try doing things in the same order I did last time. Unfortunately, I'm a stupid idiot and I couldn't solve the puzzles. So I tried doing the second thing I did, which was Gerudo, and I couldn't do that either. So I finally caved and decided to do Hebra, the Rivali place first. And it was so shit-tastically easy, it made so much sense why the game was practically begging you to do this first. Like, why? Why did you change the gameplay style from Mega Man to fucking... not Mega Man? That was a major strength. Out of all the things you were supposed to double down on, that was supposed to be one of them, but yet you didn't. What fucking gives? Well, you've definitely got my gear spinning here.
Monsters can also force them to discard a card.
I don't remember this shrine either.
Albion is going to send Retribution, as we now add back the Brand Fusion that was engraved. Now Rahu Dracotail, Pan, and Malulu are going to non-target destroy a monster and non-target negate. It's going to be on the higher chain link that we trigger the Futsu. Whatever we summon, it will not be. We're not going to be negated by Malulu on the Futsu, but if we try to Pan destroy the Futsu, what we summon will protect it from destruction unless it gets negated by the Malulu. So this is kind of interesting on what we're going to do here. We possibly also want to stop the Saji from triggering. So we destroy the Saji with the Pan, and then we have the Malulu. So it looks like, it's a very subtle nuance here, but the chain link order of Malulu and Pan were incorrect. If we switch them around, if the Malulu were on the higher chain link, we could have negated the protection and then destroyed the Futsu. Futsu would not be here, and Saji would be negated. Does that make sense? It's a hard thing to be thinking in the moment of, I think so. Albion Sanctifier is here. Trigger the Arthalians Reborn, further trigger the Ghoul Melts Reborn. This could be for one turn killing. But the Futsu is not negated. And, oh wait, it's negated. It did get negated. Okay, well, we're in big trouble. Super Poly could be used with the light if we have another light monster, or a fire if we have another fire, but the Sanctifier cannot be used for fusion summon. Ghoul Mel's gonna wipe out the Futsu. We do have prayers. Tribute to trigger to reborn back. Ash is going to negate the effect of reborning back the Murakumo. No non-target field wipe, but the Futsu could reborn back the Murakumo to wipe the field. So a lot of crazy things are happening here. The Pan and Malulu effect of destroying and negating have already been used. And we're channeling blocking the Futsu from a potential Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is a relevant card. People are using it. Come back. And now if we special summon against the 3400 defense, he's going to be reborning the Murakumo. Super Poly with the Futsu. Did I say Futsu was fire? I guess something was wrong in my brain with that. But we had easy Super Poly just like that. Lethal damage. He's got fire. He should be a fire monster. What is that? Are you out of your freaking mind? Super Poly dealing with the 3400D. Let's go. What? What's that? Isn't there like normal summon, Almirage, then Gravity Controller, then summon Maximus, right? That's what you would play if you're playing this. I thought you would. We're not. Nope. Okay. Udrika Tail into the Max C. No way to stop the C. Last dose company to wait a month? Are you sure on that? I don't remember what the heck happened there. Pre-prep ready for next turn. We very much need that for our first turn. Call with the Great Finger, the Urgula. As we have Key2, does not have the additional benefit of fusing on resolution, but we are under the effect of Max Seed. Do we want to force out lethal damage here? Imperm, negate the Lucius by chaining Fey Mana to dodge the impermanence. We're further playing into the Max freaking C. Now, it's Super Poly in the battle phase. That could be a really good way to help circumvent another draw for Max C and play around them, drawing into something that would be relevant within the main phase, like a Nibiru. Arthalion at back. Lucius trigger set up the horn. No lethal damage here. It is lethal. Yes, we do. We have Spellcaster and Dragon. Summon Mysterion. No, nothing to block the attack. Got him just like that. Super Poly for game. Not that we use it, but I think it's crazy that the Pan and Urgula are huge. They're like 2,500 plus, so one of them plus the other fusions is lethal damage.
You might be thinking,
Man,
Seeker, this guy's almost maxed out on his energy wells. No, I'm only halfway through.
With the toggle on. It's not something you have to catch right away and go, oh crap, I have a card I want to activate. Let's Deception Sinful. I'd say this is a great Ash. Yup. Ash, the Deception Sinful. In fact, when you see White Forest, you could possibly just save the Ash for it as long as they didn't open up with the Field Spell. Field Spell will turn off the use of Deception even being good. We're going to activate Fool Loss and Max freaking C. Are you kidding me? White Forest plays well against Fool Loss, but if you add Max C on top of it, that messes things up. For normal summon Sylvie can search the trap then end, if we want to. Done. Now, our forms of disruption will be the ability to use woes.
Kinda lame there isn't a decayed and pristine version of the Savage weapons. Then again, they are canonically weapons made by the monster themselves. Apparently.
Let's freaking go. Any card sent to the grave is now banished instead. And Woes of the White Forest into Silvera flip the field face down. This ensures that we get them into the graveyard. I think that was more so why we wanted to do it in this order to get it out early. And now you're going to...
In fact, it did kinda bug me. Most enemy weapons didn't have fusions, because it implies they became less creative in Tears of the Kingdom for some reason. Their wooden sticks used to be adorned with bones and teeth and stuff.
Aha! Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Today's the day. You are going to give me your horn. Oh my god, finally! Ow, trample me. Two of them, let's fucking go. My horn collection grows. I grow increasingly hornier in each battle. Is that Zelda? Holy shit, it's Zelda. What up, girl? I'm horny for you, babe. Lady Link's gonna grab a shot of your horn again. Thank you. Hmm. Oh, damn. This Lionel is just here. That's crazy.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and Alestrals, am I right? Ugh, man, I keep saying I'm gonna put my Alestrusy into this channel, but God keeps intervening. I don't know why I thought fatherhood was the perfect time to make a pledge to my viewers that I'd upload more. Anyway, for, I think, the first time this December, I am back on the channel, and it's because ban list has dropped. I intend to make more videos about Alestrals. It's easier than it's ever been. I no longer have an outstanding obligation to the 200k video or school, and I'm up at weird hours with kids, so as a result, I should be able to write stuff, but you know what? My New Year's resolution is not to make any promises regarding this channel. You're gonna get the content when you get it. Anyway, today you're getting it. The ban list in Alestrals is coming at a very weird
Where
time
the
because
hell's the
Alestrals,
Temple
the
of
game,
Time?
is in a pretty good place.
Oh.
Games are, in my estimation, more fun than they have ever been. A ton of playable decks, and they're all high power. For the first time in a long time, we are not playing good stuff piles. We are playing decks with a direction. And for the first time in a long time, there's a couple of cards that were in everything that no longer are. There are some things that can be done to sand off the edges of this format and make some decks less explosive. There is one potential avenue in which a significant amount of the back row curbed, but I think more likely than not, we are just going to see unhits. There's a lot on the list, so let's listen to Mr. Drive.
Hey casters, today we're excited to share and integrate some new updates to the current Alestrals trading card game.
Integration was an
As
interesting
promised in our
statement
most
here in a
recent
YouTube video.
restriction update
This
video,
ban list is
we're
brought
back
to you
with
by
our five
Raycon.
changes to the live stream format has been full of initiative. We're very happy with the game's development towards creating fun game states and unleashing powerful threats.
That's a really cool way to describe it. It's been full of initiative. Here referring to, I mean, as you can see on the screen, the bevy of powerful 2 and 3 drop Alestrals that have been really just dominating the format. Describing it as decks that take initiative, I guess is another way of describing it. It's like proactive decks that I tend to refer to when I discuss like the strategies of tier lists.
New deck lists, strategies, and archetypes are created every week.
Yeah,
we're always looking out to see what
there have been swings, by the way, in case you all have not been paying attention to the implementation of the last ban list. Most recently, of course, Morfrost is now implementing for best deck stats as a result of this to some of the really frustrating frustrating back row runes that prevented you from fearing explosive turn. But the Leonite Champion of Hestia has become a breakout Alestral as well, which is funny as all hell.
Next big innovation will be the Alestral's trading card game is more fun when each player can do the things that their deck and strategy want to do.
This is a great point, and I hope
the sword is actually a really useful pointer here.
Both players, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, deserve to get to their linear game plan, and then you hit your linear game plan against each other, rather than being like, I will never let you access it.
The live stream format has
and I think forecasts that we might be seeing a bunch of back row runes
across
head
different
out.
elements and play styles. They evaluate strategies around 3 key strengths: speed, consistency, and resilience. It's okay for decks to be good at some of these,
There are
but
indeed
not all of
supposed
them
to
at
be
once.
2 of them.
When strategies become too dominant and prevent decks from flourishing, that's when we need to take action. It's important to note that...
Real quick, I do want to intervene and say I love the insight into what they think is a...
That big-ass mountain is probably
Today, I'm excited
this
to announce
mountain,
some
right?
card limits in the game, as well as some card unlimits to shake things up. All changes
Hello.
highlighted will take effect on December 29th, 2025. And on the first week of the new year, January 3rd. All the cards that will be limiting to 1 copy in the upcoming format. The first card we're limiting to 1 is Morfrost Bad Form. Frost has become a very popular strategy in deck art.
It is pretty inarguable at present that Morfrost is the best deck in the room. It's just so absolutely incredible at going wide early, and repeatable bat is a part of that. Leaving bat to 1 means that some decks can play the small Morfrost package, which like that as a way to get on field is a little wide. Decks that just like want to be able to cycle through cards quickly.
Of Morfrost Chimera. With Morfrost Bat Form, it becomes a very resilient deck. That's tough to keep up with.
Strong.
Therefore, by limiting Bat Form to 1 copy, we encourage players to invest more in refined help recur Morfrost forms and limit the deck's ability to establish a consistent board repeatedly. Next, on the hit to 1 copy.
Choose wisely, Howard, for I hate to make you an enemy of the Order. Hunted like an insect to save worthless lives? You really leave your family without father?
Well, you're being a bit vague there, but well, that's why I'm doing what he tells me to. Of course I'm not.
Spell it out. Help us kill these insects for the glorious command.
Does he? Can you tell me that himself, please?
So it got to the wall on the desk. Up on the wall, you see a face you haven't seen in a long time. A face you hope to never see. In fact, you see those harsh eyes, you see the scars, you see a look of conquest.
Hello, God.
Hello, Violence. I have not seen you months. To be
be serving your lord. I am serving you. I've been asking a lot of people if I can have their towels. They haven't actually said yes, but I've been asking them very nicely. And I'm trying to become the mayor of Cape Antoli, and when I do, then, you know, it'll be part of your empire, won't it?
And always go through shoulder. Yes.
Very good. But I have one more task.
Alright. You'll kind of gesture to Seto's pet. You'll ready to survive around you.
What?
The actual hell am I looking at there?
Deafness, Alan.
Trying to resist, so unfortunately, I think Alan would want to resist. What's that?
Okay.
Deafness scene.
Yeah.
No. Was there something you want to say?
More like something I do not want to do. Yes, precisely. So you do not yet understand any orders from your lord.
No. You can gesture over to Mr. Penn over there.
Correct. He is obviously telling you that you must attack Mr. Penn.
This is hard things to do. Hard things to conquer these men. We conquer the serpent, they with the Alan. Here, job to do. So what was it? You must kill these men. Prove what you have been doing. Sorry, which man was that? Questions regards yeah, I know that, but you're not being very clear with your plans. You see them telling me to do something and then gesturing and then get rid of these men, but there's lots of men here, you know, particularly.
What was your name's caching something with it? These are the people. How difficult it was to get through your scum.
I just appreciate you being nice, common sense, like this, right? And Mr. Goddess, it's supposed to tell the truth and everything. The serpent? Who's the serpent? Serpent's dead. Oh. So, serpent's right hand man. Mr. Kent is the serpent, and the serpent is telling me to kill him. Right?
For right now, it's like
Alan, but I see why we only have 12 people.
As I thought. This is not the world I know. A time so far back in the past, it's become legend. So it's true. This is really the era of Hyrule's founding?
Your presence here is just as strange to us, Zelda. But if you, like Sonia, have a secret stone and are able to manipulate time, then your story makes sense.
Oh? I believed her right away. You needed the secret stone as proof, Rauru? I can feel your light power within her, as well as my time power. Additionally, I sense that we share a blood connection.
What kind of JoJo-ass logic is that?
I see. In any case, Zelda, you had said that you needed to return to your era as soon as you possibly could.
Yes. In my time, something terrible is happening. I need to get back there. But how do I do that? I don't even know how I got here in the first place.
Now, Zelda dear, you don't need to solve your problems all at once. Why not come back with us to the castle,
No,
We'll tell everyone that you're a distant relative of ours. It is true, after all. We'll get you fresh clothes, too. I'm sure an answer will come to you. Wisdom takes time.
It sure fucking does.
I don't know what to say.
I wonder. Minoru. She may have some idea of how to get you back to your era.
Minoru, you said?
Yes. She knows far more than anyone about our people. And like us, my older sister has a secret stone. We'll call on her.
Hungry.